I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Stephen, and I've been a Doctor Who fan since 2005.
And I'm Ben, and I've never seen the show before.
For years now, I've been trying to convince Ben to give it a go.
And my answer has always been no.
But now, finally, he's agreed not only to watch it with me, but to do a podcast about it as well. And quite frankly, it's about time. Okay, hello.
Hello.
We're here. We've literally just finished watching Series 1, Episode 1, Rose. We've been to the loo, made a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, and now we're going to talk about it. So, go on then, hit me. What was your first impression of Doctor Who?
Oh dear, where do I start? It was just a bit naff.
Yeah, it was naff. And I did, to be fair, did I not warn you? Particularly this episode, is going to be naff.
It's like, it's the opener to a series, and it needs to be the best, because it's an opener of a series that has not been on the air since God knows when. And yeah, I'm like, really? They went with this? Oh my God. Yeah, okay, that was my gut reaction.
That's your initial reaction, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, you can.
Part of me wants to say that I think part of the charm of Doctor Who has always been its slight naffness.
It looks like a parody of the genre.
Yeah, okay. What makes you think that? What particular things?
Just the shots, the cheesy angles, the running down the London Bridge holding hands like as if it was a first date.
Okay.
It just felt...
I love that. I love them
Yeah.
holding hands.
It's like the Doctor, to me, is like, only met this girl. And like, oh, let me hold your hand.
Yeah.
I've lived, I can feel the whole Earth moving at 10,000 million minutes a mile an hour. Let me hold your hand while I talk about this really gripping thing, and then let's go, and runs away. I'm like, dating him must be very hard.
Yeah, well, traditionally in the classic series, there was never any romantic side to the Doctor at all. He was always thought of as asexual and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So it's quite a change to bring in that sort. I mean, it's only subtly brought in, I would say, in here. But watching that, do you feel like the Doctor is attracted to Rose?
He comes across that way.
Yeah.
Or he's intrigued about her.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, those are my initial reactions.
Yeah.
About Doctor Who.
When you were saying about the shots and the angles and stuff, like...
It felt so cheesy. When she was on the bus.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, she was in the sun, and like this, I was like, like haze over the thing. I was just like, oh no, I would just...
But how much of that is because it's like 17 years old now, this show?
Maybe some of it is that, but personally, I'm just thinking to myself...
It makes you cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's totally fair. Because, like, this
doesn't feel like the early 2000s. It feels like it's...
the 90s.
Yeah, probably of the 90s.
Well, I think that's partly because it's been so long now and you forget how much things have changed in that time.
Oh my God, the hand puppet.
Oh, the arm, the plastic arm.
Oh my God. That scene was... Stephen can attest. As soon as it happened, I laughed.
He burst out laughing and couldn't stop.
I was like, what is this thing?
He turned to me and he said, "Stephen, what am I watching?"
I was just a bit like grabbing around the throat. I can understand. That's fine. But as soon as it went from Rose's face and it just looked awkward because she was holding it there, I was just like,
no, it is hilarious, isn't it? You know. So your first impression are that it looks dated?
It's dated, it
cheesy.
Feels a bit cheesy.
Okay.
The thing is, though, Marvel will look dated in 20 years' time.
I always remember, so back in the day when these episodes were airing, they used to sometimes release podcast, like, commentaries where the creative team would, like, watch the episode and talk about it. I used to listen to those avidly. And someone said on one of them something about something's going to look dated in a few years. And Russell T Davies said, of course it's going to look dated. Everything becomes dated. It's like, you know, everything's going to age. Aren't you going to age? And he said, I think that's marvellous, that, you know, we're of a time now And then in the future, I'll be able to look back and it will look...
But the thing is, though, but now, coming as a newbie to watching this show, because my partner is an avid fan, has been a fan for God knows how many years. And me coming into it now, I look at it and I think to myself, oh, like I am surrounded by great CGI, so I would be really interested to watch a later episode
the
now.
new stuff, the Jodie Whittaker, for example.
Yeah, and see how much they've improved their quality. Yeah. The writing, I said to Stephen, I've got a good thing to say, and the writing feels clunky at the beginning with Rose and her mum. In the beginning of the episode, felt really clunky for me, but the Doctor's written really well.
Yeah.
And I think it was a true testament, and I can understand why he's up in your high regard, Stephen.
Russell?
Russell and Christopher Eccleston. He has cemented he is a very attractive man, and let's put a warning out. This is going to be a gay podcast because we are two gay men.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, I can get on side the Doctor just to watch him because he's attractive.
So what you were saying about you'd be interested to see one of the newer ones. Like I will say the more recent ones, they've really put money into the visuals and stuff. It does look visually much better. But for me personally, I've found the writing's gone downhill ever since Russell T Davies left. So it's a poor trade-off, isn't it? It's something might look stunning, but if the writing's not great, then you're not going to enjoy it. Whereas I feel like this early Russell T Davies stuff, the writing is fantastic. Maybe it looks a little bit ropey in places, but I'd rather have that than the other way around. It
comes across as if BBC didn't know if it was going to work in this day and age.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely the case.
And they didn't want to throw too much money at it.
Yeah.
And so they gave it a shot. I don't know the history of it. Did Russell go to the BBC and say, I want to reboot Doctor Who?
Yeah, he did. He'd been lobbying the BBC since sometime in the 90s, saying we've got to bring it back. This is how we're going to do it. And he was pitching. And then I think, they said, okay, we'll give you one series. And when they were making that first series, nobody knew if it was going to get any more.
So how many episodes are in season 1? Series 1?
13. From what I've read, Russell was very inspired by things like Buffy and like the American format. Because back in the old days when Doctor Who was on TV, it was 25-minute episodes on weekly, and each story would span about 4 to 6 weeks. So one single story would be 4 to 6 episodes, and it was a very slow pace compared to what we're used to today. And that's great, but I mean the pace of entertainment has changed since Doctor Who was on the air. Mm-hmm. And Russell, I think, was very smart to say, well, look at something like Buffy that's very popular. They have individual 45-minute episodes, and they have a season-long arc. He borrowed those things for Doctor Who, and I think it worked really well.
Me and Stephen could talk about Buffy quite a lot because we have watched it. We have watched it together.
Yeah.
It's one of Stephen's favourite shows.
We need to rewatch it.
But looking at Buffy and even looking at Buffy series 1...
Oh, you're going to say it looks better than this?
It does look better. The dusting...
Excuse me, but we haven't watched it for ages. We might watch it, and then you might go, actually, I was wrong. You might be remembering it as better than it is.
Maybe I am, okay. But...
You might be thinking of Buffy season 7.
Maybe.
So basically I appreciate your view about the budget, about the visuals being a bit disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But you did like aspects of the writing,
mm-hmm.
which is good. It's nice that you've got at least one positive thing to say, that this isn't going to be all.
Yeah. So I really like the story as well.
Yeah.
I like the idea of there was this beast,
the Nestine consciousness.
Yeah, and that can control all plastic.
Yeah.
But I didn't like how they had executed.
In what way?
I didn't like how we walked into a room 10 minutes in, and I told Stephen they're going to come alive. Because I could tell that they were people dressed up.
Yeah, so you didn't like the fact that you could predict it.
Yeah, felt predictable. But the thing is though, this is very much me. I'm very observant, and I do look for clues in a lot of things.
Personally, I don't think it matters that it's predictable. If you can see something coming, I think that's part of the joy, because you can think, oh, they're going to come alive, and you think, okay, let's wait and see when's it going to happen, and when's she going to notice, and stuff like that. I think that's part of the fun.
I disagree.
Go on.
I want to kind of be like, oh my God. Not
You
like,
want to be surprised. Yeah,
oh my God. I want to be, oh my God, they've just come alive. Oh my God, she's literally backed in a corner. And where did the money go? Did she drop it? Like,
the
literally,
lottery money.
Like, I'm literally
That's true. Where did it go?
Rose, you have like 100 quid in your bag. Take that home.
I think you'd probably forget about that if the dummies start coming to life. But yeah.
In this economy, I would not.
No, true. Oh yeah, fun fact. When this was first broadcast, that transmission got ruined by someone at the BBC did something wrong, and on the other channel, Graham Norton was hosting some like reality dance show, and part of the audio bled through. So Rose goes down and it's all really eerie and creepy, and she's looking at the mannequins, and then suddenly you hear, "Oh, it's Graham Norton!" Da, 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 and lots of people cheering and clapping. And when I watched it, I just thought that was part of the show. I was thinking something really crazy is going on here. How was it for you watching it as a former department store worker?
Oh, so for everyone who thought that it was a Debenhams, it's not.
It's not Debenhams. It's its own fictional thing called Henrik's.
Yeah,
but it was filmed in a what's now House of Fraser in Cardiff.
Oh,
yeah.
What was it before then?
It was an independent.
Oh,
thing.
independent department store.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will just say that I remember when we were first getting to know each other. This was when you were working at Debenhams, and you said something about the mannequins, and I said, "Oh yeah, there's a Doctor Who episode where she goes down to the basement and the mannequins start to come alive." And you were like, "Oh my God, no, I couldn't watch that because it would freak me out because I find mannequins creepy."
I used to dress windows, and used to have a whole room full of mannequins.
Yeah, it does sound quite creepy,
and
to be honest.
literally like the size of our flat. Well, you don't know the size of our flat, but and it was literally just chock full of mannequins. And like the creepy part is we had a like whole tote of arms.
A what?
A whole tote of arms.
Tote of arms?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like a coat of arms. You mean like a bag of arms?
Tote, like a plastic tote of
bag.
arms. And then a plastic tote of hands.
Okay.
Someone had thought it was a great idea to dismantle the arms and hands and put them in totes.
Well, there you go.
It was very
And how
weird.
often was anyone tempted to take an arm and be like Mickey and pretend it was strangling them?
No one. I worked with 3 sensible women, so
I see. Well, that's what Rose says. Men are all the same. Give a man a plastic hand. So talking about Mickey, when he was on screen, you said, "Oh, he's irritating."
He irritated me really quickly.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so I don't know. He came across a bit like not very nice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like he was like trying to force a romance that she had checked out of.
Yeah.
A while ago.
I think that's deliberate. I think that's intentional. Well, he doesn't care about her. He doesn't care about Rose.
No, he wants to be seen to be caring, and he wants all the perks of having a girlfriend. But I don't think he likes Rose.
No, he is an arsehole in this episode. Like he's like, oh, pretending to take care of her, go down the pub, but he just wants to watch the football.
Yeah.
And then when she goes to borrow his computer, and he's like,
"Don't look at my emails.
Don't read my emails." Like, what's on your emails, Mickey?
Yeah.
What have you been doing? Do you remember those days when, like, people just didn't have computers and it was like... Well, you didn't have a computer till...
Well, we had a computer, but didn't have the internet until I was 16.
Yeah.
And people all around me were having that internet, like, 5 years beforehand. Dial-up and all that. My mum was scared of dial-up because she thought it was going to cost a bomb.
It seems crazy now to watch it and just be like, now if we want to Google something, we just go on our phones. Or like a few years ago, we would just go on our computers. But this was back in the day when she had to travel round to her boyfriend's and borrow his computer so she could Google something.
Yeah.
Crazy. Or sorry, not Google. It wasn't Google. It was searchwise.net. So you like Christopher Eccleston very much. Not just because you find him attractive, but you think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
And he sells the role really well.
Yeah. And I have a soft spot for northern accents.
Yes. Oh, did you like that line about how comes you sound like from the north if you're an alien?
Yeah.
Lots of planets have a north. Yeah. Thoughts on Billie Piper?
She warmed on me.
She
I
grew on you.
thought her irritating at the beginning.
Okay.
Like, I thought her delivery of lines was a bit stiff and a bit stiff, a bit wooden.
Okay.
But as she went along, she warmed on me. And when she wasn't going to leave and she was going to stay with Mickey, I was like, what are you doing? You have the chance to go around the universe and time and space, and you choose to stay with a person who has checked out of you, or you've checked out of, just because you're scared.
I think also it's very symbolic of like we all go through our lives, like, you know, the mundane, the humdrum, and it can be, you know, change is very scary for a lot of us, and you know, if you do get this opportunity suddenly given to you, I can understand why her instinct would be actually no, I you know, because it's too scary. Just carry on as normal, even though you're not happy in your current life. Stick with what you know.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Like, safe comfort zones.
Yeah, exactly. But then, you know, she really did want to go, and then he gave her that second chance, and she took it.
Her poor mum.
Yeah, she's been left on her own.
Yeah. Oh, did not like her as an actress.
Oh no, she's an icon. She is an icon, literally. Did you catch her name, the mum?
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure if they even mention it in this episode, but she's Jackie Tyler. She is an absolute icon. She's camp, she's hilarious, she's like EastEnders. Russell T Davies loves a mum character.
But those screams, Stephen.
I know, it's awful, but that's what makes it brilliant.
She was one of the reasons why I thought it felt like a parody.
Yeah.
Because, like, it wasn't like, it just feels everything is like based around a joke.
Yeah.
Or half-hearted.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Okay, Doctor Who covers many genres, episode to episode, and so this one was quite a light-hearted one in many ways.
Okay.
So you know, it's quite a whimsical one. But Jackie, she is an icon. She loves the drama. You know, when she was on the phone to her friend about Rose's shop blowing up.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. That again, this is a big contrast to the old series back in the day. But so for the companion now to be working class and to have a fully fleshed out home life and family is something that they didn't do really in the old series, and that's something Russell T Davies brought to it, because he writes characters that you care about and that you get to know.
What? So the old series, were they like rich white women?
Well, yes, pretty much. I mean, you know, think about 60s BBC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, it was, oh, Doctor. You know, his first companion was his granddaughter. We won't go into that if you see Ben's face just then. The Doctor had a granddaughter.
Has that been retconned?
No. Doesn't get mentioned, really, anymore, but it's not been retconned. Do you find that weird?
Yeah. Pieces together, so it's River Song's child.
So hang on, what do you think about, what do you think River Song is?
His wife. The child's mother.
Okay.
The child mother or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not that. I won't tell you, obviously, but you're wrong.
Stephen ruined my YouTube algorithm by watching the trailer, and then now I just see episodes of like Doctor Who pop up, and I say, "Oh, it's spoiled again."
I'm so annoyed about that. We need to sort that out. I don't know how. Can you not somehow go into YouTube and be like, "Show me nothing about Doctor Who"?
I don't know.
I don't think it works like that. I suppose if that was an option, you'd have done that years ago. So, Christopher Eccleston, yay. Billie Piper, she grew on you.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey, you hated.
I didn't hate. I just thought he was very, very annoying.
Yeah. Jackie, you want to see more of her, maybe, before you decide.
Is she in it more?
Maybe.
Oh, those screams just like annoyed me.
No, you will fall in love with her, I promise.
Okay.
Things that you liked. You've told me you like the writing.
I've watched many things Russell D Davies.
Mm-hmm.
Russell T Davies.
Yes. What have we watched together? We've watched Bob and Rose.
Years and Years scarred me.
Years and Years.
Cucumber scarred me.
Yeah, and me.
Like, I was like, fantastic shows, but you have to have a tissue nearby. Not that
For more ways than one.
but yeah. Stephen! So yeah, I'm a fan of Russell. I know I'm a fan of Russell's. Oh, Bob and Rose. I like Bob and Rose.
Yeah, yeah. And do you remember the Very English Scandal? We watched
Yeah,
that as
we
well.
watched it. So I've watched a lot. So I knew I'd probably go in liking the episode. I thought the episode was a bit slow at the beginning but I thought as it went on, it was really well. The blob thing down the drain.
The nesting consciousness. The blob thing down the drain.
Yeah. Weird. Anywho. But no, I like Christopher Eccleston. He's really pleasing on the eyes.
All right, okay, you mentioned that a few times.
Billie Piper, I thought for her first acting role, you could see that I don't know if it was done in chronological order, but whatever.
I think it was the first one they filmed.
Yeah, and so like you could feel her getting comfortable with her character.
Yeah. I think she's really watchable.
Yeah, and you can see why she's still got a career in acting.
Yeah.
Because she is a better actress than singer.
Well, I don't know. I haven't really heard her sing. I'm not really interested in that. But this is a weird question, but we talked about Buffy earlier. Mm-hmm. Do you get any vibe of Buffy from her?
No.
Okay. So I do. I'm not sure what it is. Probably the blonde hair and the kind of clothes she wears and like the attitude. But like I do remember at one point Russell T Davies describing the series and saying we're going to have a Buffy the Vampire Slayer style companion.
I can see it in the sense that she
took it strong young girl.
Took it onto her own to save the Doctor.
Yeah.
And like she could have easily just let him die.
Yeah. And
make herself safe. But she said, no, if I save him, he can save the world.
Exactly, yeah. I think she sees how special the Doctor is straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I liked those are some of the things I liked.
Yeah, that's cool. Side note as well, by the way, I forgot to mention earlier, but the Nestine Consciousness and the shop window dummies, which are known as Autons, they first appeared in the classic series. They were in 2 stories with the third Doctor, John Pertwee. And what's funny?
Nothing's funny.
Do I sound nerdy?
He's just flexing his nerd muscle right now.
No. Believe me, there are people who know way more about Doctor Who, particularly the classic series, than me. I'm not that much of a Doctor Who nerd as many people. But I was just going to comment, because I do remember, like, even though they were only in 2 stories of the classic series, there's something that people remember. It's kind of in their consciousness. Like, I'm pretty sure my parents said when we watched Rose for the first time as a family, they said they remembered the shop window dummies coming to life in the old series. So it was kind of cool to do that as well, tie it back to the classics. So what about things that you didn't like? And don't say all of it.
We know that I didn't like the visuals, like some of the puppeteering, it just felt like the visuals, like the masks that the Autons were wearing. Yeah. They felt cheap.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like it fell a bit short for me in visuals.
No, I do agree on that. And that, again, that's another one. There's quite a few things in this episode that are famously people criticise and say...
photoshopping for one.
Oh, the photoshopping, the Christopher Eccleston.
Plastic Mickey was weird.
Yeah.
When he was like, the stretchy hand thing. I was like, what am I watching? Those are some things I didn't like.
What did you think about Clive?
Clive?
The man in the shed.
Oh! The man from Barbara.
Barbara,
and he was in...
what's Barbara?
Barbara was a sitcom.
I've never seen that.
Oh.
Mark Benton is the actor's name.
He was in something else.
He's been in all sorts.
Yeah. He was alright.
Yeah.
I feel like he plays everything the same.
Oh, he does. I don't mean necessarily the actor or the character. I just mean like, that part of the story. Like, it's introducing this idea that the Doctor there's some mythology around him, and like,
yeah.
He leaves traces throughout history where he goes.
I think it would have been cool to have that as a past companion.
Oh.
And just saying that they've always like struggled with being back and not and not
the Clive character could have been a past companion.
And not dealing with being back very well, and so they're trying to track the Doctor down so they can join him again.
That's a great idea for Doctor Who now, but I do think for the first episode, bringing the revival back, I think they wanted to have as few ties to the past as possible.
Okay,
so I can understand that, but I do think that's a cool idea. And they do kind of explore things like that going forward. Right then. So if you're going to give it a score out of 5... Now, I know this is tricky for you because this is the first episode that you've seen, so what are you comparing it to? I don't know. But what's your gut feeling if you give it a score out of 5 stars?
2.
Seriously?
2 stars.
Okay. I accept that. For me, I will give it a 2.5, which is bang in the middle. Oh no, I'm tempted to give it a 3, but I think there's so much better, more to come. So yeah, I'll stick with the 2.5. Okay, anything else to add? Are you looking forward to watching the next one?
Yeah, because I get to see my bay.
Your bay is Christopher Eccleston, okay.
No, it passes the time.
It passes the time. Trust, I honestly think by the end of the first series, I do think you will appreciate it.
I do enjoy, I enjoy this genre of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing else to add?
No, so.
Okay, so well, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope we get to have some more interesting conversations going forward. If you want to keep up with us, you can follow us at About Time Cast on Instagram and on Twitter, if Twitter still exists when this episode goes out, because it seems a bit doubtful at the moment. And you can also email us if you want to at abouttimecast@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time for episode 2, The End of the World. But until then, au revoir.
Au revoir.